Hello, my name is Joe Aldridge, and I've been a type 1 diabetic for 7 decades.
And I'm Cam. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and you are tuned in to the Diabetes Our Way podcast, where we discuss all things diabetes related.
This podcast, we're going to share a few laughs, and you're also going to learn a lot as far as what we've experienced over our trials with type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
But please note, we are not doctors, and this podcast is for general information and entertainment. It is not any form of direct medical advice. If you or someone in your life has or may have any form of diabetes, please contact a medical professional. Hey guys, welcome to the Diabetes Our Way podcast. I'm Cam. He's
And I'm
Joe. Yes, I'm rocking a mustache right now.
Right.
I thought it was time for a little change. You know, you get mixed reactions on the stash. But maybe I'll go as Ted Lasso or Hulk Hogan for my office Halloween party. I don't know.
Ariel Chavez.
Yeah. But man, I just want to say we had some great views. It was the highest viewed episode, was the last one that we did. We had 91 views on that podcast, so on YouTube, and we also have got 18 subscribers as well. So thank you for all those people who are subscribing to us, and I guess you're enjoying our content. We enjoy doing it as well. And very exciting news, we are now on Apple Podcasts. So we've got just the audio version, so you don't get to see our beautiful faces, but it's on there. So we'll be uploading those each episode. They're actually already up there right now. But as soon as we record and post one to YouTube, we'll get it and we'll put it on the iTunes. So you can listen to us on the go.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Next will be probably Spotify. We'll get it on there as well.
Yeah, Dr. McDaniel, Deb McDaniel, she does a good job and everything else, and really good speaker one-on-one. And I'm sure she was a little nervous, but I thought it was a lot of great segues, even, diabetes and dogs, those types of things that I think, if you got any questions on what she said or whatever, just, send us an email or get a hold of camera and we can get it to Deb and we can answer them on the next podcast.
Yeah. And our email is diabetesrway@gmail.com. So we look forward to seeing those emails, comment, questions, whatever. We want to read them on the show. So that's the big thing. So if you have any questions for us, we'd love to answer it. So Joe, how do you feel so far on everything that we've talked about? This is what, episode 8 for us?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So, I'm sure, because you and I talk sometimes, we're like, okay, what do we want to talk about, on this podcast episode? And so when I asked you today, I was like, what topics do you want to cover? You were talking about carbs in food, correct?
Yes. Yeah, and that's I think that was brought up by both Dr. McKinley and Dr. McDaniel as far as how do you adjust those carbs, and now with the new sensors and stuff like that, it's all really generated by how much are the carbs and how that really adjusts how much insulin you're going to put into your body, whether you inject it or whether you take it orally, whether you use the Dexcom and the Omnipod and the pumps. And so I think, there's a lot of stuff happening, all of a sudden, I guess it's September 1st and Starbucks has come out with their pumpkin latte spices and stuff like that. And that's probably enough to kill a diabetic. But, we just wanted to talk about things about what you're putting in your mouth and how that might be affecting you. And it was interesting when I went to talk to the diabetic educator at IU Health here. She pulled out all these things, and I got tested on what was the carb intake on those. And she said, "You really know your stuff." And I said, "Well, I should. I've had this disease for 56, 57 years."
Yeah.
And
It's been interesting. I've been noticing my trends because I will admit, yes, I have slacked on my gym routine lately and my meal prepping as well, and it's been causing my sugars to go. I'm doing like this, and then I go down like that. And
yeah,
funny thing that happened today, like I had a decent lunch. You know, I had a sushi roll and some sweet tea, right? And you know, towards the end, it was getting towards about like 4 o'clock or so, and I had some candy at my desk that you know I was munching on some of the lifesaver things, right? But then all of a sudden, like I get this alert that's like my sugar's at 59 right now or 54. And I was like, that don't make any sense. Like,
yeah.
cause I had a good lunch. I've been snacking on these lifesaver things. Like why, and maybe you know, Joe, like why do you think like my sugar went down like that so quickly?
Well, I don't know because you did you inject any insulin or is it all
No,
oral?
I don't do any more medications except for Trulicity, which
Okay.
I haven't taken. I'll be coming up on my week injection coming up tomorrow actually.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you're under a lot of stress, if you've got a lot of stuff going on at home or work or whatever, stress can really impact your diabetes because
mhm.
your body tenses up. It's starting to, it needs to get energy. It gets that energy, so the sugar is released. But then, if they once they're released, then you might be too low from that standpoint. So it could
Huh.
be just like with exercising stress and tension can really affect your diabetes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been under a little bit of stress, so that kind of makes sense
Yeah,
as well. But I noticed too, like a few weeks ago, um, I actually didn't start feeling the actual effects of going into low blood sugar until I got to probably, I want to say like 49, right?
yeah,
And that's when I started to get the shakes and, you know, confusion and everything like that. But before it was interesting because I would start feeling like that if I got to 80, which
yeah,
is very interesting now how now my body is like if I get to 80 I'm fine, right? I don't feel anything. But 49 is now like the trigger. Like even at 54, I didn't feel any symptoms that I was, you know, I didn't get shakes, I wasn't confused or anything like that. So
yeah.
it's very interesting how my body has like changed to being, you know, what's considered that I start to feel the effects of low blood sugar. And I'm not sure if has your body changed, you know, in a way like where it used to be at this level, you start to feel it, now it's at this level that you start to feel it.
Oh, I think a little bit of that, but I think it's all your body's adjusting,
Mhm.
and that's where you gotta, kind of. And I'd say anybody on the podcast, you really have to try to figure out how that's adjusting. I think especially the first 20 years that if you've had diabetes, and you might say, well, I'm not diabetic, but if it's a lot of times type 2 diabetes, I don't know how long that stuff stays into your system.
Mhm.
And so it might be going low because you still might have stuff stored in your system that's causing a release or causing a release of insulin to be in there. And
Mm.
so those are good questions. I think you really got to go and ask your doctor and say, "Hey, what's going on here, and what should I be prepared for?"
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's I noticed that whenever I lose too much weight, yeah, I go low blood sugar quite a bit because I'm not adjusting my insulin as much. And so those are things that when you exercise a lot too, low blood sugars, those types of things. But really it's all an adjustment with your body, what you're putting in your mouth, if you are still taking insulin or if you're not still taking insulin, how that affects things. And so my thoughts are is I would say try to figure it out and write down. Are you mapping it out on a piece of paper?
So I used to log in my Fitness Pal my food that I eat. I have to get back. I fell off track on that. So I'm gonna start getting back to that as
Yeah.
well. Like I know I said I'm gonna start. I need to because that was my biggest thing is, when we talked in the episode of
It
like
was like,
what goals that we want to have. And if you remember, I said that my goal is to try to stay consistent with the lifestyle that I'm doing.
right.
And I've fallen off a little bit. So now I just have to get back to it because when I was on it, I was fine, like I wasn't
No,
dealing with too many.
you're on the Libre 5 or what?
Yeah, I'm
You're
on
on the
the Libre 3 Plus.
3 Plus. You should be able to track that. You can put that stuff in your basically in your phone because you have an app, right?
Well, not the food that I eat.
Yeah, you can. I
Okay,
put
well, I'll have
put
to look.
I put food in there, how many carbs, how much insulin I take, when I exercise, and everything else, and then you can run a report. They ran a
Huh.
complete report for the last 90 days on my sugars, and you could just tell it has graphs and everything. It's one of the best things you can ever do, and your Libre will do that for you.
Oh my god. I never thought on the insights there. It's got food,
Yeah,
exercise.
yeah.
Okay. I didn't so you showed me something
Test
I
your
didn't
blood,
I
test
didn't
your
know.
blood sugar. Then it says right down there notes, and you hit the notes on mine, and it pops up. How much food am I eating? How
Yeah.
much quick acting insulin? How much long acting insulin? Did I exercise?
Yeah.
Types of things, and then you just punch that in right there, and
Mhm.
then you can run that report, and it can be linked to your doctor's office. So
Yeah. Oh yeah,
my
I have it
doctor
linked.
would just
I
my
have it linked to
doctor
my
would just
yeah,
plug it.
I have it linked to my doctor right now. Um it's interesting too
Well, your
because
doctor must not be looking at it.
well, I'm sure he is. He's just collecting the data so when we have our next appointment he can go over it. But I've been noticing like a low glucose alarm like around 1 o'clock at night here lately for me.
Yeah,
It's usually been going off that same time and I don't know if that's the compression, if I'm laying on it, or not, because
right.
now I've put it on this side. I think I have better readings. But I also feel like I only have 3 days left on this sensor. And sometimes I think that towards the end there, I think your sensor starts to kind of act a little wonky. I don't know if you feel that way. You get a lot of like sensor
I've never had
errors.
that with the 14-day.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So maybe it's, it tends to be pretty stable all the way up, and,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you really need to anybody that has the Libre device, you really need to read the read what's available and what you can get done because yeah, my doctor runs the reports and everything else, but my dietitian or the educator, she had my whole Libre linked and everything else and had everything ready when I walked in.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Here's where your troubles are." And I know where my troubles are. They're usually this time of day.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's a great device. And going back to what Deb McDaniel said, Dr. McDaniel, you got to be able to use the technology.
Yeah.
And sometimes don't use too much technology, like a Fitbit, an Apple Watch, or this and that and the other. You've got it right there in your arm right now
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
for your
That's interesting.
diabetes.
So you showed me something new that I didn't even know about.
Yeah. Well, somebody in your doctor's office, somebody should have told you that.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
They did me. That's all I'm going to say. I think Indiana's better than South Carolina, but I don't know.
No, I love my doctor. He's awesome. He's great.
Yeah, just
But
telling
yeah,
him a hard time, but he'll
yeah.
probably say, "I told you, you just weren't listening."
Well, I mean, I actually, I tried to get on the Dexcom there for a while just to kind of see how it was, but I couldn't get approved insurance wise for it for some
Yeah,
reason. So I was approved
yeah,
for the Freestyle Libre, and that's what's been working good for me.
good.
So I, I,
Yeah,
I like it. I enjoy it. And I thought it was interesting what Deb said, that you have a lot of like, recalling back to what she said, a lot of triathlon Ironman people who are running marathons too, just put those glucose monitors on
yeah,
themselves to track. I thought that was so interesting.
yeah, 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 it
It's
is.
like
I
thinking
mean,
outside the box there.
it is, it is.
Mhm,
Yeah, and it's, I think, there's so much stuff there that you can really think about and analyze, but I know everybody's busy, especially if they're married, they've got kids, those types of things. There seems never to be enough time in the day.
mhm,
And of course, with technology, people want the instant answer now, but sometimes you got to sit back, like in anything, and analyze the data that you got.
yeah,
And because the answer is in the data, you just got to figure out and be smart enough to figure out what the answer is. And it goes back to what I said in one of the earlier podcasts. You have to be your own best doctor.
mhm,
And I was saying the doctor's not watching it and everything else. Well, he is when you come in to see him, but how many patients is that doctor seeing every day? Maybe, 20 to 25 patients. And so they can't sit there and analyze it, but you can. And that would be my advice to everybody is you become your own best doctor, you become your own best dietitian, you become that because guess what? It's not their lives that's affected, it's your lives that's affected.
yeah. It's interesting because when you were talking about that, I was thinking of a callback to, what we used to say. We say in the HR world when we're entering data into the system. It's, if you put garbage in, you're going to get garbage out,
Right.
so you want to make sure everything is accurate. So when you pull those reports, you have the most accurate, up to date information.
That's
So,
right. Yeah.
uh, and
Well,
speaking of work,
speaking
I'm sorry, I just thought this was interesting today because as I was having like I was still at the office, so I was walking around. I got like a soft drink, to drink and everything, and I was talking with my office manager, and I was like, yeah, like I gotta take this, I'm getting a little low blood sugar, and she's like, well, that's a good thing for me to know, in case you know,
well,
place you fall down.
didn't somebody bring that up in one of the first podcasts?
Yeah, you did. You
Yeah.
did. You did.
Yeah. You know,
But it just
like
started a good conversation about like, yeah, well, what do I do? Like if you pass out on the floor,
that's right.
I was like,
That's right. She could be your lifesaver.
yeah,
We were talking about lifesavers earlier. You need to have some lifesavers in your what I call your community, work community, social
yeah,
community, and everything else. I mean, I know you ride a motorcycle. What happens if all of a sudden you're there at a stoplight and you just fall over and the motorcycle's on you? So you
yeah,
know,
that would be awful.
yeah, I know, but it could happen with. I told you, sometimes the diabetics they get low blood sugars and then they get pulled over
Yeah,
and
because they're,
they think the police officers, no fault of the police officers, because they're all doing what they need to do as far as a job. But they say this guy or girl's drunk. Well, no,
mm-hmm,
they're having a low blood sugar.
mm-hmm,
And so now what I've noticed here, especially in our hometown, is they're asking you, are you a diabetic? But that's the first thing you need to say too with the police officer saying, hey, you know, um, sir or madam, I'm a diabetic, just to let you know.
yeah, mm,
So, the more information on that side, the better. I mean, people are there, they're going to try to help you,
yeah.
especially if they're a police officer or first responder or somebody like that.
So if someone is passed out on the floor, suffering from, low blood sugar, the first thing is call 911, right?
Yeah.
And then what would you advise? Would you try to give them like something sweet to drink? Try to get something sweet in their system?
Well, don't give them anything to eat because they'll
Right.
probably choke to death.
Right.
But what you can do is you could get a soft drink, try to pour that in, but also too, there's what they call glucagon. So
Okay.
glucagon is instant. It's a shot, but it's basically pure glucose, and we've got it at home and everything else. And so if people are passed out and they're incoherent, and you could try to wake them up and everything else, and they might be getting awake saying, "Hey, you feel what's going on, what's happening, because we're going to give you something to drink." You also get those gels, those liquid gels you can put in, and that will go into them. So something
Mm.
liquid would help, but the glucagon is the lifesaver as far as if you go way too low.
Okay. Does
And
that have to be refrigerated?
no, nope, it's just sitting in the closet up there. I've never had to use it, thank God, or my wife's never had to use it, and she's a nurse, but thank God I've never had to. But
Hmm.
yeah, you should get that. Ask your doctor about that, or if
Okay.
anybody out there is a diabetic, ask him about the glucagon. I mean, most prescription or drug companies cover that. And all the other stuff you can buy over the counter at the drugstore. The gels, the liquid gels that that will give instantly 15 grams of sugar, and so it's really good. Or 15 grams of carbs. The tablets, these things right here.
Yeah.
Well, these are basically just sugar tablets. So here, another thing you can do is you can drink 1 or 2% whole milk, or not whole milk, 1 or 2% milk, because that's got carbs in it. And
Mm-hmm.
milk will raise your blood sugar, gets digested very fast. It will raise your blood sugar level very fast.
Would you say that's quicker than orange juice?
I would say they're about the same,
Okay.
but it just depends. Whole milk and oh, I'm giving away some of the answers already. Whole milk is basically very low carbs. I think a cup of whole milk's about 2 grams of carbs.
Yeah. You
So
know what it got?
I drink whole milk in half and half, so I
Okay.
don't raise my blood sugar hardly any at all.
You know what got me thinking is when we're talking about this, is all good things because I plan on going to go travel internationally next month. Um, but like you've flown before, right? So
Right.
does does being in the air have any effects on your sugar levels at all that you've noticed or no?
I think it depends on how much you drink. No,
Okay.
no. My advice is don't drink nothing but water,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and 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 get up and walk around, especially if you're making long distance flights, because that your feet will swell and everything else.
Okay.
And so, the one thing I was going to go back to your point of view about those low blood sugars. Here's the other thing: is your blood sugar gets too low. You remember what Lee McKinley said, Dr. McKinley. You know what the number one killer of diabetics is now?
It's a stroke or a heart
A heart
attack.
attack. So you go that low, you could have a heart attack or a stroke, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're going down a fine line there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but international, I don't think the flights bother you as much. Just eat light and drink water. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
if you want a glass of wine or a beer or a drink, maybe drink one, but then follow it up with water and stuff like that. Especially if you get, I know some people want to have a drink or a glass of wine, or beer just because they get nervous flying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. That's good to know. Good answers. Cause I always think about that stuff too and how the air pressure might affect your blood and your vessels within your body and how that would correlate with your blood sugar levels.
Yeah,
So
I almost wanted to. I don't think I can do it now because having flown to Australia and the jet lag there and everything else. I actually wanted to see if I could go into space for like 2 or 3, days, and
yeah.
see what effect that would have in diabetes and stuff like that. If you were up, you know, uh, flying around or flying to the moon and back.
Yeah. Huh.
So
That is interesting. They
yeah,
should NASA get on that, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. So they'll probably want a much younger diabetic than I am.
Well, you know,
My days are over.
you need a good like what do you call those groups, right? Group A is your young people. Group
Yeah,
B is, you know,
yeah.
Okay, let's get into your carbs,
Okay,
Joe.
yeah. So let me ask you, do you like to eat?
I love to eat.
I know, you're Italian, that's why. So let me get over to this. So I think one of the things I like to find my questions here. Maybe. All right. Okay, Cam, keep talking because I'm
Okay. Well, so far I'll put in again. Email the show at
ah,
Joe won't be responding to the emails.
that's exactly
I'll be
right.
I'll be checking them. Diabetes rway at gmail.com. But yeah, it's been some. I've enjoyed the banter, not banter, but you know, I thought we hit like a couple cool things. The space thing would be really interesting, and just see how zero gravity
Well, I mean,
affects.
you seen like those that guy and that girl that was stuck up there, and then they had to get Musk to go up to, you know, how much it really affected their body overall. It's
Hmm.
just amazing, and they were perfectly good shape.
Yeah.
And you know, I can imagine, you know, what kind of low blood sugars would you have up there?
Well, I mean, I probably would be cheaper too, or interesting, a submarine chest, right? Going down deep underwater,
No, I
in a
don't think I'd
submarine.
do that. I'm claustrophobic. That might be tough for me on the spacecraft too. So so let me ask you. I found it here. I was going to say a couple things too. Um, we were talking about different areas to look at. If anybody has something that they want us to talk about, that's where we'd like the emails too. Because I'm actually, we're probably going to have on a dermatologist that talks about, especially in older type 2 diabetics and everything else, how that too much sun, how does that affect your diabetes as far as being out in the sun, getting dehydrated, those types of things, skin cancer, different things along that line. So she said, yeah, she would love to be on the podcast. She'll be a ball of energy. She really is. She's been a good friend and of my wife and I's for a long, long time. And so we'll have her on here in the future. But her name's Dr. Kathy McTeague and stuff
Okay.
like that. And so I just thought that would be something interesting, you know, especially having gone to her and how does that affect, especially then, you know, and they do all the kind of stuff too with the skin treatments and that, and how do those drugs and those different things affect diabetics?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So with the fall coming up, you know, I kind of like to look at food groups.
And we know Halloween is not your favorite
No,
holiday.
I don't like Halloween at all. Listen, it's it was I like it. It's okay now, but because I'm not you I don't really like to eat candy and
Mhm.
everything else, but I've been conditioned over the years not to do that. But yeah, you know, I'll probably get a rock or an apple when I go trick or treat this year. So let me ask, looking at I'm looking at vegetables.
Okay.
What do you think is a better for you to eat? A green bean casserole or a green bean salad with croutons?
Uh, Green bean salad with croutons.
And why would you say that?
Because the casserole has a bunch of cheese, it's got some bread in it, a lot of salt. Uh, I just think it has more items in there, more carbs in there for you, to raise your sugar up.
Well,
Whereas,
remember, cheese and salt have no carbs.
okay,
Yeah. So, as far as not cheese might have a little bit of carbs, but not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. I mean, the casserole with the breading and stuff like that, and the way it's cooked, and that compared to a green bean salad, the green bean salad's not going to raise your blood sugar as much.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about a steamed broccoli or peas cooked in water? Would you say one would raise your sugar higher, or do you think they're both equal?
Your peas would definitely raise it higher because peas are a little sweeter, have that sweet component to it, whereas broccoli, I don't think would do anything to your sugar levels.
Well, partially right. Peas don't, even though if they're sweet, that's okay. It's peas are a starch.
Okay.
Well, they are basically not a vegetable. They're more of a starch that kind of like a bread.
Mm-hmm.
And so I still love peas, especially with butter. But yeah, they will raise my sugar, but I also eat a lot of steamed broccoli. So, but good answer. How about carrots sauteed in a red sauce or asparagus in with melted cheese?
I'm gonna say the asparagus with melted cheese won't raise your sugar as high as the carrots will.
Well, you went a little backwards there. The carrots will raise your sugar a little higher, but also too depends upon what's in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I think people don't realize that when you go out to eat, the sauces and those will really raise your sugars, and that's where maybe you need to check with the waiter and waitress, which they probably won't like you, but you really need to determine. You can ask the waiter to say, go back and ask the cook, how much carbs is in this dish? And especially if that sauce is, let's say it's a I don't know what all goes into a carrot sauce, but maybe it's um not olive oil, but maybe that they're cooked in some kind of like red sauce or cream sauce. That's what I was looking for, some type of cream sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Or so those kind of, you really need to see what's there. If it's just plain carrots or asparagus is going to be better because it's green.
Yeah.
Okay, how about fried cheese curds or sweet potatoes that are
Sweet.
baked?
I'm gonna say sweet potatoes are better for you than the than than the fried cheese curds.
Yeah, the curds got so much breading. And the fry, there's something about the fries, the fried part too, that will really affect you.
Yeah. Now,
So,
if you put both those in front of me, I'm eating the fried cheese curds because they sound better.
well, I'm eating the sweet potatoes because as you get older as a diabetic, you can develop diverticulitis. And so anything fried, I tend to stay away from.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. I
And I
notice
do,
too if I eat too
do
many blueberries, it definitely runs a havoc on your stomach as well. So I love blueberries. I think they're one of my top like snacks to go to at night. Like blueberries, apples, plums. I love those are my favorites, but if I eat too many blueberries, don't eat too many blueberries, people, because it'll hurt your stomach. That's for sure.
well, and if you eat too many blackberries and that have seeds in it, that's going to get into your diverticulitis. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about fruits here at the end here. I got this.
Okay.
So that's good though. That's a great segue. How about steak au jus or breaded fish and chips?
Steak au jus is better for you because of the
That's right.
breading. Yeah.
So going back to the breading, and most fit. You ever seen fish and chips? Chips that are
Yeah.
not there. It's always fried.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
I was
usually
a big, I was a,
it's beer batter.
yeah, I was a big fan growing up of if we're going to do something different as a fast food restaurant, we're tired of the McDonald's and stuff. I love the Long John Silver's.
Yeah,
But damn, there was so much breading, it's like, where the hell's the fish? Or then you're wondering, is this even fish? I mean,
I don't know. I don't think it was, but it might be. I don't know. So, how about breaded grilled cod or roast beef Manhattan?
I think the cod is the better choice for you. I'm not sure what a roast beef Manhattan is, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with bread in it.
Yeah, roast beef Manhattan, and I used to eat this in college. It's basically a plate, and on the bottom you've got bread, but in the middle you got a big scoop of mashed potatoes, and then you got the roast beef, and then they pour it with brown gravy.
That sounds
So
delicious.
it's great. Yeah, you can get turkey Manhattan. I can't believe you never had roast beef Manhattan.
No, no.
Yeah, it's good. Just make sure you bring a lot of insulin.
Yeah. Well,
How about
I've been up to into Pittsburgh, and I had the pierogies. I
yeah,
love those pierogies. Oh,
they're good
so
too.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, we eat pierogies. They're actually not too bad in carbs.
Yeah.
Um, how about chili with beans or vegetable soup with no potatoes?
Hmm. I want to say vegetable soup with no potatoes is probably a little bit better for you, as not raising your sugar so high and not too many carbs.
Yeah, and why do you think that?
Well, I just think, depending on what vegetables are in there and what type of, how you're doing your soup, whether it's like a broth, usually broths, don't have that high of a carb, intake in your broths.
Okay. It's actually the beans is what's going to get you.
Yeah.
Beans can really raise your sugar quite a bit, all but green beans.
Mhm.
Lima beans, kidney beans. I don't eat beans other than green beans. And so, but yeah, when we make chili,
Mhm.
we make two chilies, one without beans and one with beans. So,
Do you have what's better for you, black olives or green olives?
I've never had any problems with either one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm more of
So,
a black olive guy. I like
yeah.
those. Yeah.
Black olives, neither one. I eat olives pretty much. We go down to the local, I call it the farmer's market type of store, and here in Bloomington, and they've got this olive. I forgot what it's called, but it's black and green olives, and it's got a nice sauce in there. And then I get tuna salad with a little bit of carrots in it, and I dump the olive mixture in on the tuna salad, and that's what I had for lunch today.
Huh.
And my
Okay.
didn't raise my sugar one bit.
Yeah. Huh.
So, um,
Interesting. It's kind of
well,
like, oh, would you rather eat an egg with the yolk in it or just eat the egg whites? I feel
eat, eat,
like,
eat the whole egg.
yeah, you've got the whole, I mean, because there's good fats in eggs, and I know people are like, "Oh, just eat egg whites," but there are some good fats inside the egg as well, and you get a good amount of protein in there too for you. I used to start
So,
my day out with four eggs. All depends on how you cook them too. Like, you
yeah,
know, you don't want to
yeah.
be dabbling a bunch of butter and salt when you're cooking them in there.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of soups, the New England clam chowder or the Manhattan clam chowder?
I mean, I think the Manhattan one's the red one, right? So that's probably a lighter broth than what the New England clam chowder is. And the New
Right.
England clam chowder, I'm not sure if the Manhattan clam chowder has potatoes in it, but I know the New England clam chowder has potatoes in it.
That's right. So, yeah, the Manhattan's better for you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How about a taco salad with beef or a burrito
Now, are we talking about a taco salad with that's
with the
served
shell?
in the shell?
Yeah, in the shell.
A burrito, I feel like, well, hang on. What
You're not using
size?
AI, are you?
No. I had to think because the burrito, I feel like I'm going to go with the taco salad. It's the better option.
That's right. Yeah, the burrito that because the taco salad, it's a thin taco.
Yeah.
All right, but the burrito, it's cooked and it's thicker. If
Mhm.
you ever watch that, so yeah, the taco salad. I eat taco salads all the time,
Mhm.
and don't have to take very much insulin. Okay, we got Thanksgiving coming up. How about baked turkey with white gravy, or baked ham with brown gravy?
I mean, turkey, right? It's less cholesterol than the ham is. The brown gravy is probably darker and heavier in the carb intake than the white gravy is. So, and the turkey is, more of a leaner meat. So
That doesn't
that's,
have anything. That doesn't have anything to do with your diabetes.
well, am I right?
No, the baked ham with brown gravy is better for you than the white gravy
Okay.
because
Is it just the gravy though? That's the
pretty
kicker.
much just the gravy.
Okay.
Unless
Gotcha.
you put a brown sugar glaze on the baked ham,
Yeah. Well, I
and
love
then
ham.
if you have a brown sugar glaze on the baked ham, then that's the worst choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I got you on that one.
Yeah, you
Ah,
did.
all
Yeah.
right, so let's move on to the
I'm
next.
getting hungry because I haven't eaten dinner yet. So,
Yeah. Okay, so let me go back.
and when I was talking with my dietitian at one point in time, they gave me the good rule of thumb, right? Your meals shouldn't be any bigger than the size of your hand. And, you want to incorporate more of your vegetables than more of your meat, and your other things. So, at least that's what I was told to me
Yeah,
at one
I
point in
think
time.
it's individual. I think it's
Yeah.
really individual, and what the individual tastes are too.
Mhm.
Um, so we're gonna go to your favorite place, the breads.
Okay.
Okay, how about what do you think the best form of bread to eat is for a diabetic that
Pu-
won't raise your sugar as much?
pumpernickel.
Um, Actually, the darker the bread, the better. So yeah, and the grainier it is, the better.
Mhm.
It won't raise. But out of all the breads, not just the baked breads, but I'm talking about potatoes, this and that and the other. What do you think the best bread is in order to be able to eat?
Um well, I mean, you just said like are you trying to distinguish between wheat like and all that or
Now, I'm just talking about anything bread. You got, sweet potatoes, white potatoes, yellow golden potatoes. You got everything included in there, besides, pizza dough. And I will tell you, the if you eat takeaway pizza at some of these, like Domino's and stuff like that, the thin crust is going to be better for you than the thick crust,
Mhm.
and the thick crust actually has a delayed release of sugars in that crust.
Yeah. Well,
So that
for me, I always just stayed away from the different breads even though I bake it and I enjoy it and I love making it for people. If I'm gonna do a sandwich, I usually do a tortilla, like a soft shell, and I do wraps.
yeah,
So for me, that's the better option I go to for low carb intake and not have a bigger spike in my sugar. So I'll get those soft shells, tortilla shell wraps, and that'll be what I have for bread. But if we're gonna rule that out, I'd probably say um, any type of like rye bread. I know we said dark breads and two, but I don't know. Give me the answer, Joe.
rice,
Rice?
rice.
Yeah. Well, that's a starch. It's not really a
No,
bread.
it basically is a bread.
Okay.
How come in Asian food rice is the main bread?
Yeah.
I don't see diabetes in a lot of Asian people.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, rice is considered a bread. In my unless
Maybe
that's
that's why my sugar went low from my. I just ate sushi
yeah,
today, and I didn't get a lot of because I noticed it too. I was like, oh man, I didn't really go up that high, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah. So no, that was probably a good choice. You just got to adjust it. How about the what do you think is the best protein or meat to eat?
chicken or fish, one of the two.
Chicken is good baked, not breaded. So don't get, the chicken fried steak. Roast beef is the best red meat. And then fish would be any type of grilled white fish,
Mm-hmm.
cod or salmon, those types of fish. And you really can't go wrong with grilling fish from
Yeah,
that standpoint. But you got to watch the other ones, especially like, um, you know, uh, shrimp, because most of the time shrimp's breaded and fried or even, sometimes oysters and stuff like that. So watch those things that are fried when it comes to seafood.
yeah.
What do you think is the best vegetable?
The best vegetable
Yeah.
is probably. I'd probably have to say the best vegetable is probably broccoli.
Yeah,
Um,
broccoli, green beans, anything green other than lima beans and peas. You
what
can
about
eat pickles,
tomatoes?
tomatoes,
I know they're a
they'll,
fruit.
they'll, raise your sugar a little bit, but not much.
Yeah.
Tomatoes not that bad, from that standpoint.
You know, one of my favorite things to make is a tomato burrata, and it's where I'll take a heirloom tomato, I'll cut it up into four slices, and I'll put some burrata cheese in the middle of it, get some olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, and a little salt, and put some basil on top of it. It's
Yeah,
very good.
that's good.
There's a
All
good
right. So,
recipe for you all.
yeah, that's right. So let's move on to the fruits. Which is less carbs, a small banana or a medium orange?
Medium orange.
That's right. Small banana, you'll get the less there to eat of any of the fruits. How about green grapes or applesauce?
Hmm. Is the applesauce sweetened or unsweetened?
It's even plain, unsweetened.
I'm gonna say grapes then. Still,
No,
no,
apples.
yeah.
Apples will raise your sugar more than what than what grapes will.
So
With
grapes are the better choice.
yeah, great green grapes. You can eat 17 green grapes. You can't eat, basically a whole apple.
Oh man, I eat a whole apple all the time.
Yeah. Well, eat that for for the fiber, which is good, but maybe check and see how much it raises your sugar. How about watermelon or blackberries?
Blackberries are better
Watermelon's
for you.
better for you.
I don't like
Yeah,
watermelons.
any type of melons, cantaloupe, watermelon, honeydew. Those are good because they're mostly pure water.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
those are out for me to eat because I don't like how they taste. So
Well, then
I'll take my chances with the blackberries.
all right, go ahead. Then you'll get diverticulitis.
No.
How about pumpkin pie made with diet sweetener or pumpkin pie made with pure honey or cane sugar?
I think the pumpkin pie made with pure honey. Um, I mean, the sweetener, yes, I can see it's probably a little bit better for you, but I think I know which one I'm choosing. I'm choosing the real one with either honey or the cane.
So you're saying that's better for you or worse?
It's probably worse than the sweetener one is.
No. Have you ever read what's in sweeteners for all you people out there? It's look at the carbs on your sweeteners and compare it to like that's why I put honey in my basically in my coffee in the morning
Mm.
because honey won't raise my sugar as much as what sweeteners will. Also, too, honey won't kill you like sweeteners will. You ever seen the side effects, long-term side effects of those sweeteners?
No, I haven't.
Yep. But don't you remember back when they took all Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi went off of saccharin?
Yeah, I remember that, and they
Well, you
were,
know why that
you know,
study was? Because they overpumped the mice with saccharin. They'd have to drink about 2,000 Cokes a day. I'm exaggerating there. But, but they now switched the formula on the Cokes and the Diet Pepsis, Diet Cokes and that. And guess what? People are drinking more of those and they're gaining more weight. They're not losing weight.
mhm.
You'd be better off drinking an old Coca-Cola with real sugar in it, like they used to make them, versus drinking one diet, drink one regular Coke versus one Diet Coke. I think you'd be better off with the old Coke.
Yeah. And you're probably better off with the honey having more raw honey,
Yeah.
actual raw honey. And I saw this really cool video the other day to tell if it's an actual, honey that came from the bees or if it was produced otherwise. And this guy took a drop of honey, he put it in like a little like pan area, and then he put water in it and he started swishing it around, and he said, if the honey starts forming like the honeycomb because of the muscle, because of the memory inside the honey, if it starts to look like a honeycomb, then that's how you know it's an actual raw honey that came from the bees. So I
Yeah.
thought that was a really interesting video. So if you ever want to look and see how how clean and natural your honey is, you can do that test there.
That's a good idea. Kind of goes back to the Fruit Loops thing with the Canada versus American.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Yeah.
notice I didn't talk about the cereals.
No. I mean, I think it's just hard to eat any cereals these days, if you're a diabetic, but
Yeah.
if anything, you'd probably only do it with like a half a cup, not like a full bowl
Well,
or
when you
anything
when
like
you
that.
sent me that thing about the carb counting and stuff like that, I chuckled because did you see what the cereals were? It was like
Um,
a third of a cup or a fourth
yeah.
of,
And like if you want to have, they recommend a serving size, when it comes to like a donut, for instance, yeast type glaze, one donut. That's all you get. You don't get any more.
I
Fruit.
guess here's the key thing. There was a doctor out in New York who really tested this quite a bit. And he said bread kills diabetics.
Hmm.
What's a donut?
I mean, it's bread,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't eat the donut.
but I think it also comes back to what ingredients are you using to make that bread, right? I mean, if you're just using flour, yeast, and let's just say sugar, right? Because sugar, you need to have some type of sugar in there to activate the yeast. If you have three ingredients, how can that be so bad for you?
I don't know. Check the carbs.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you see all the different ingredients and things like that. It's
Mhm.
like they should do tests where it's like, okay, here's homemade bread with just three ingredients versus a bread
Yeah.
that you can get with the grocery store.
Right.
Monitor your diet, your blood sugar levels and
Yep.
everything like that, and see which one,
I
you
think the
know.
best thing they had to do was they had to put the labels on there. And the key thing for the diabetic, I'm going to show you two things. There's this Calorie King right here. I don't know if you can see it, or is that?
Can't really see it. Your phone's pretty bright.
Yeah. Okay. Um, it's called Calorie King, CalorieKing, trusted. It's an app and it gives you a list of food categories, food brands, fast food chains, and you can scan the barcode and we'll tell you exactly what the carbs are in those ingredients. So it'll tell you everything else,
Mm-hmm.
cholesterol, those types of things too. But that is a great app. The other one that you can take here is it's called Yuka, Yuka, and that will tell you if there's hazardous stuff in there that you should stay away from. And it gives you a scale anywhere from 0 to 100. And the things closer to 100 are better for you. So you can go to the store and just take and scan the barcode. It'll all pop up right there.
Yeah.
So I use both of these daily.
Or here's an idea for the makers of food on the nutrition facts. You know how they have the serving sizes, right? What if we just added another column for those diabetics and put a serving size? You know, if you're a diabetic, here's what your serving size should be if you have diabetes.
Well, you do that when you learn at the carbs.
Yeah, but
It will say right there, like,
well, I know, but I'm just saying, like,
well, no, you can figure that out yourself, Cam. You know, they don't have to put any more crap on the side of those things. I mean, they maybe for diabetics it'll say too many carbs, this will kill you, just like they do with the cigarettes. You don't want to do anything.
Hey, you know, it's just an idea. It's just an idea.
Well, if there's any food manufacturers listening to us, I'm sure they're laughing.
Yeah, I'm sure too. But it's an idea. It just popped in my head. It just came in my head. So I can't guarantee there'll all be winners that pop up here.
Well, that's all I got today.
Well, I think that's good. Here we thought we were going to go a little shorter today, and we're at like 55 minutes. So
yeah, no,
how about
good.
that?
Yeah.
So I look forward to the next guest that we have on, the dermatologist. I think that'll be a really good and insightful interview, you know, for us.
It might be a few weeks. So
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. But
I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, well, thank you guys again for subscribing to the show. Like I said, we're on YouTube, we're on iTunes. Well, we have Instagram, Facebook, so keep up the support. We thank you guys a lot. We'd like your feedback as well. So just thank you guys so much. So email the pod at diabetesrway@gmail.com. Find us on iTunes, YouTube. Leave comments if you want to leave some comments on our YouTube videos. Throw some likes, subscribe. We'd love it.
Yeah, sounds great. Everybody,
all right, guys. Have a great one.
Go out and get some pizza and beer.
No.
Well, a taco salad and water.
Yes.
Maybe one beer will be okay.
Yeah, one beer will be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a Pilsner.
All right, guys. All right.